All right, we got some breaking news here. We just this just came into us. I have, of course, Jade Lowe and Anthony Feliciano with me, and the Ultimate Warrior has passed away. How are we feeling about that?
Obviously this comes as shocking.
Yep.
You know, considering we saw him on Saturday, and I felt like the theme of just that whole day of was just sort of like talking about overcoming demons. I thought, you know, we've seen the other legends talk about drugs. We've seen him talk about this, and we've seen him talk about sort of overcoming that and just sort of living alive for the rest of our years, and just sort of, you know, to sort of live immortally, if that, you know, if you know what I'm saying. I'm sorry, I'm a little fumbled. So anyway,
it's all right.
We don't know what Ultimate Warrior obviously died of, or whether he passed natural causes, but it's just, you know, just to see. Yesterday he was just on TV. Today, I mean, we find this out, so it's just very, very, very heartbreaking, especially with the Hall of Fame stuff. But yeah,
and man, I don't even know what to say. Like, basically the entire premise of his acceptance speech at the Hall of Fame ceremony was how, the Ultimate Warrior would live on forever, and how, you know, his legacy would never die. And then he comes out on Raw last night and has a passionate promo. It's his first appearance on Raw, and I don't even know how long. Someone a lot smarter than me would have to back me up on that. But, man, I mean, and on a much, much smaller scale, I mean, we had just learned a lesson with the Undertaker streak at WrestleMania. You know, one minute something's there, and then all of a sudden a 3 count and it's gone. And then we see Ultimate Warrior on TV for 2 straight days, and he's jacked up and pumped, and now we get the news that he isn't even alive anymore. So it's hard to process the information of something like this when it happens so fast and so suddenly. But, man, I don't know. It's hard to believe, I guess, especially in this day and age of internet death hoaxes. When you guys first told me about it, I was like, oh yeah, you know, Ultimate Warrior's dead, you know, whatever. And then I looked and I was like, oh wow, okay, well this is really happening. Man, I don't even know.
Yeah, and when we talk about whenever a particular wrestler dies, obviously, you know, we get a lot of memories coming back over what they've done throughout their career. And the one thing that always sticks out in my mind is the match he had with Hulk Hogan, and becoming I think at that time the first Intercontinental Champion and then WWF Champion. And how big that moment was, and how that was basically supposed to just skyrocket him into stardom. Yeah, one of my, well, you know, I think, Dan, you're a few years ahead of me, so, yeah.
You know, I started watching wrestling around the 95, 96 time, so Ultimate Warrior wasn't really as known to me or anything like that. But now, you know, thanks to, of course, the post-2006 world where you could sort of watch anything online now from back then.
Yeah.
I started looking at old Warrior replays, and I liked that he had a really important feuds against, well, The Undertaker, right? So, you know, and Undertaker is my favorite wrestler, still is. But, you know, it's, yeah, you know, just to see what an impact he made for the audience, of course, during that era of wrestling from the 80s, you know, well up to, I guess, whenever, I get early 90s, right? 1991, 1992?
Yeah.
Well, anyway, so, yeah, you know, I don't know.
And he wasn't, you know, as intelligent fans, we can say that he wasn't the best technically gifted wrestler to ever step foot in a wrestling ring by any means. But he wrestled in a day where you didn't have to be the greatest technical wrestler to have success. I mean, look at Hulk Hogan and how huge he was, and he's nowhere near the top of the best pure wrestlers to ever do it. But for me, the best way to relate to Warrior, because I'm a lot like Tony, I started watching in the late 90s when it was all about Hollywood Hogan and Bret Hart and Stone Cold and The Rock. And, I didn't know a lot about Ultimate Warrior until I was much older, and I started getting appreciation for wrestling and the legends, and I just see a lot. I think one guy that I see a lot of the Ultimate Warrior in right now, a couple of guys actually, is Mojo Rawley in NXT. Has that same don't quit, keep running, I don't get hyped, I stay hyped. I love that. I think that would have fit for the Ultimate Warrior as well. And then when I see Dolph Ziggler do a shoot promo or a shoot interview, I see a lot of the same intensity and the same energy when Ziggler or even Dean Ambrose does a shoot interview. And I see the emotion they put into it, and that's what Ultimate Warrior is really known for, is the face paint and the yelling and the running. He was never really known for his wrestling, but he connected with the crowd. He gave them an energetic hero to root for. He was a superhero to a lot of people. My dad grew up watching him. My dad loved the Ultimate Warrior. So it's obvious. You can see it in superstars that wrestle today. You can see the impact that he's left for them to work off of, and the influences that they take from him. So I think as more of a modern day wrestling fan, I can take a lot more of that away from the Ultimate Warrior's career than I can his actual accomplishments. But I mean, to me, without him, we wouldn't have a lot of the guys that I love right now. So.
Exactly. And, and thanks to, things like the internet and, thanks to discussions like these too, we're sort of more aware of what a lot of these, older wrestlers. Jade, how old are you, Jade?
I turned 24 this year.
Okay. All right. So I'm older. Oh, I'm older than you. All right. So, anyway, my child,
come on.
I'm trying to lighten the mood. No, it's great because, I mean, we'll obviously not have the same experience as our uncles or our dads have when they were watching wrestling on the little tube box, week after week. But now for us, where we that's why when I say Undertaker, the reason I say that is because that was one of the first things I looked up about the Ultimate Warrior. And, I think we even though we experience things differently with the, past wrestling shows, past wrestling moments, past wrestlers, we get our own experience in a way where we're affected by it,
Yeah, and, I just lost my train of thought there.
It's probably the smartest thing I've ever said all day today.
Yeah, you kind of caught me off guard there, man. But no, it's really just hard to measure just truly the impact he's had on not only just fans growing up, but I mean even maybe with his promo that he had on Raw. Maybe it may have motivated, somebody to get out of their situation, or maybe someone to get into wrestling. His impact is definitely going to live on, for, I mean, I don't even know how long it'll probably live on forever. Is pretty much what he said last night.
Yeah. And I think we can take a little solace in, sorry, Tony, I didn't know you were, but.
Oh, no, I'm sorry.
Just real quickly, I think we can take a little solace in knowing that he lived long enough to make one final appearance on Raw, one final appearance at WrestleMania, and he lived long enough to see himself inducted into the Hall of Fame, which is all the Ultimate Warrior. It's been well known, well documented for years that all the Ultimate Warrior ever wanted was to get into the Hall of Fame, and he was so happy and so excited to finally be there. So, it's hard to take solace, when anyone dies, much less someone that you watch and respect. And, but I think, if we take one solace out of it, is that he lived long enough to see himself inducted, which is all he ever really wanted out of life.
Yeah,
exactly. I'm sorry. No,
I was just agreeing.
Yeah, no, and that's true too. And you know what? Even and I think the Ultimate Warrior will have a long lasting impact. I mean, look at guys like Jade and I. The fact that we've been able to see all these archives and the WWE Network as well. Once they'll perfect sort of a way where we can sort of see key matches of said wrestlers. This is what younger generation fans can experience. Who were these guys 50 years from now? You know, and if Jade and I can, obviously I like to look at a lot of past wrestlers. I have that book, The Legends of Pro Wrestling, where I even track wrestlers from the late 19th century. Yeah. So, you know, I think that there is going to be a niche for that, and even if that'll never go as big or explosive, there's always going to be people that research this.
Yeah, and like I said earlier, with the WWE Network now and YouTube, definitely go and check out his match with Hogan at WrestleMania 6. I mean, with his Ultimate Warrior's intensity, it not only it made the matches better, but because of that, it made the matches better because the crowd would get so into, you know, pretty much everything that he would do, just running down to the ring with the music going dun 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 dun. You know, it get at that time, it got me off my seat. I was running around, you know, cheering, saying, "I'm the Ultimate Warrior." I was, you know, doing all that. So, I mean, I'm still shocking news. The Ultimate Warrior is dead at the age of 54. Yeah. I was just about to say that, Anthony. Thank you.
I'm sorry. I didn't know.
That's all right.
That's young, though. You know what? That is really.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure how to end this because we never really done this type of thing before.
I think all we can say is that our thoughts, prayers, you know, whatever you do, are with the Ultimate Warrior's family first and foremost, and that we wish them peace in this time. We wish peace for the Ultimate Warrior. Man, it's hard to say anything else about this other than, you know, rest in peace, Warrior, and we'll remember you.